Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we will start our third unit, that is on airport engineering. So the content that I will be teaching you one by one is that first I will introduce you about the airport engineering, introduction about the airport. Then we will see the development of airport in India in short. Then we will see what is the International Civil Aviation Organization, and based on the International Civil Aviation Organization, we will see the type of airports, the classification of airports. Then we will see the airport terminologies, then the factors which are affecting the selection of site for the airport. Then we will see the air traffic control, and lastly we will see the advantages and disadvantages of the airport transport. Okay, so first we will see the introduction about the airport engineering, that is airport transportation. This airport transportation is one of the system of transportation which tries to improve the accessibility to inaccessible areas, means by means of air. It tries to access the areas that cannot be accessible by the land or water transport. So it provides the continuous continuity over the water and land. It provides continuity between water and land. As in air transportation, land and air is connected. So it provides relief during emergencies and better compared to the other some times. So during the emergency times, this air transportation becomes very important and gives relief because it saves the time in the journey, that is, it saves the productive time spent in the journey. Also, it increases the demand of the specialized skill workforce. Okay, and it also helps the tourism and it generates the foreign reserves. So in short, air transport is one of the main advantage. It has one of the main advantages that it helps to access the areas which are not accessible by water and land. And during the emergencies, it helps to transport the goods or services from one place to another at a short time. Now we can see there is a need of oxygen for the COVID patients. So in that case, the Maharashtra government is trying to get this oxygen through the air transport. Why? As compared to the land transport, the air transport requires less time. Okay. And then it also requires heavy funds during the provision and maintenance. For this air transportation purpose, the initial cost is more. Also, maintenance is more. So heavy funds is required. This is the one of the disadvantage. Then it also highly depends on the weather condition as compared to the other modes. Also, the air transport has one disadvantage. Second disadvantage is that it depends upon the weather conditions. If the weather condition is not good, the air transportation is not accessible to anyone. It is closed. Then it requires highly sophisticated machinery, which is highly in cost also. Purchase of equipment is required. Air buses is required, due to which it requires heavy funds. And the safety provisions are not adequate as compared to the other modes. And also providing a support system during the flight is complicated. It is complicated of providing a support system during the flight. So this is a short introduction about the air transport. Now we will see the development of airport in India. The first air flight in India was in the year 1911 from Allahabad to Naini, and the first commercial air services was established as Tata Airlines in 1930, and the first Boeing 747, which is 2.5 times the size of the Boeing 707, that is Imperial Ashoka, was procured in 1971. This is the short ex- explanation about the development of airport in India. Tata Airlines were the first commercial air services which were established in 1930. Then we will see the International Civil Aviation Organization. What is International Civil Aviation Organization? What is their role in the airport engine, airport transportation, air transportation? So, the International Civil Aviation Organization is also called as ICAO. It is a special agency which is of United Nations. It has given some rights. It has given the rights of changing the principles and techniques where the international air navigation and fosters the planning and development of the international air transport to ensure the safe and orderly growth. This ACAO organization agency has given all the rights to ensure the safe and orderly growth of the air transport. So there are various headquarters of them which are located in National Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Okay. So ICAO Council adopts some standard and recommended practices which are concerning the air navigation, its infrastructure, the flight inspection, the prevention of unlawful interference and facilitation of border crossing procedures for the international civil aviation. Overall, whatever the rules and regulations has to be noted down or has to be created are created by the International Civil Aviation Organization. All the rights are given to this organization. Okay. ICAO also defines the protocols for air accidents investigation that are followed by the transport safety authorities in countries signature to the Chicago Convention on International Civil Aviation. In short, they are the they are the main agencies which look upon the air transport. Okay. So, according to this International Civil Aviation Organization, the airport is divided into three types. First is the international airport, second one is the domestic airport, and the third one is the regional airport. Now, one by one, we will see the difference between each other. Why the airports are classified into these three types? What is the difference between international, domestic, and regional? So the international airport, the name itself tells us the international. That is, it has a direct service to many other airports of different countries. So we can access the areas which are located in different countries. If we want to move from India to Canada or India to America, we can the airport where this flights moves is called as international airport. They handle scheduled commercial airlines both for passengers and cargoes. Here, both passengers and cargoes are handled. These are the commercial airlines. Many international airports also serve as hubs or places where non-direct flights may land and passengers switch planes. Okay. Typically equipped with customs and immigration facilities, to handle the international flights to and from other countries. So it has a custom and immigration facilities. Why? To handle these international flights to and for other countries. Okay. The airports are usually large. These international airports are usually large ones and often feature longer runways and facilities to accommodate the large aircraft. These international airports are the largest airports. It has a long runway, also accommodates the larger aircraft. It has the capacity to accommodate the large aircraft which may be FBO or MRO. So in short, International Airport is the biggest airport from three of the airports where the international flights from different countries move to and fro. Okay. It also has a custom and immigration facilities. Okay. And it has the capacity to accommodate the larger aircraft. So next one is the domestic airports. The domestic airport is the airport which handles only the domestic flights or flights within the same country. Means in India, the airports which are present only within the same country, the flights which move within the same country, that airport is called as domestic airports. Domestic flights are flights within the same country. The airport which handles only the flights within the same country is called as the domestic airport. The domestic airport don't have the custom and immigration facilities as that of the international airport and therefore incapable of handling the flights to and from a foreign airport. Means domestic airport is only used for the to and fro of the flights from within the country. If we have to move from India, Mumbai to China, Mumbai to Chennai, sorry, then that airports is called as domestic airports. It do not allow the flights from the foreign airports. These airports normally have a short runways which are sufficient to handle the short or medium haul aircraft. As domestic airports do not allow the movement of flights from different other countries, their runway is usually short as that compared to that of international airports. So the third one is the regional airport. A regional airport is an airport serving the traffic within a relatively small or lightly populated geographical area. It is an airport which serves a small area. Okay. A regional airport usually does not have the custom and immigration facilities to process the traffic between the countries. So aircraft using these airports tends to be smaller businesses like jets or private aircraft. Now we know some businessmen or the big peoples big people have first private aircraft. So the to and fro of this aircraft happens in this regional airports, takes place in this regional airports. So these are the three types of airports, that is international, domestic and the regional airports. Now we will see the airport layout. What actually the airport is. An airport is a location where the aircraft such as the fixed wing aircraft or it may be helicopters and blimps take off and land. It is a place, airport is a location or a place where takeoff and land of the aeroplanes, helicopters takes place. Aircraft may be stored or maintained at an airport. Okay. An airport has a facility for the storage and maintenance of the air aircraft in that area. An airport consists of at least one surface, such as runway for a plane to take off and land, and helipad or water for takeoffs and landings, and often includes buildings such as control towers, hangars, and terminal buildings. So airport is divided into number of surfaces. It has runway, it has a taxiway, it has a terminal building, it has a waiting area, apron, ramp. So this is the semantic arrangement at the airport. These are all the parts or the locations in this airport. It has a runway, it has a taxiway, it has an aircraft stand, it has a ramp, it has a parking area, it has maintenance area, it has a terminal building. Okay, these are the main terminologies in the airport. So we will see the main airport terminologies one by one. First is the aerodrome. An aerodrome is an area on land or that may be on water which is intended to be used for the arrival and a departure of an aircraft. Aerodrome is nothing but an area which is used for the arrival and departure of the aircraft. It may be provided with the facilities for shelter and repair aircraft and also for the processing of passengers, baggage, mail and cargo. It also may be provided with such facilities, that is shelter and repairing of craft, then processing of passengers, baggage, mail and cargoes. But it may not necessarily be used for all the scheduled air flights. We cannot say that every scheduled air flight arrives and departs from the aerodrome, from this area. Sometimes the term aerodrome is used to mean as the airport. Sometimes this aerodrome is used to tell that airport. It is an airport. The term airport may be imply a certain statue that not all aerodromes may have achieved. Means we can say that aerodrome is an airport, but we cannot say that airport is an aerodrome. Okay. Then second terminology in the airport is aeroplane. An aeroplane is a powered fixed wing aircraft that is propelled forward by the thrust from a jet engine, propeller or a rocket engine. It is a powered fixed wing aircraft which moves forward by a jet engine or a propeller or a rocket engine. The aeroplane comes in variety of sizes, shapes and wing configuration. This selection of the sizes depends upon the use of that aeroplane. The broad spectrum of uses for aeroplanes include recreation, transportation of goods and peoples, then military and research. Means depending upon the use of these aeroplanes, their size, shape and wing configuration varies. Okay, now we will see what is apron. The airport apron, or it is also called as flight line, ramp or tarmac, is that area where the aircrafts are parked, unloaded or loaded, refueled or boarded off. Apron is the area in the airport. In the airport, there is an area which is called as apron, where aircrafts are parked, they are unloaded or may be loaded, and then at that place it may be refueled and then they may be boarded as required. Although the use of apron is covered by the regulations, such as lighting on vehicles, it is typically more accessible to the users than the runway or taxiway. This apron area is mainly accessible by the users as compared to the runway and taxiway area. However, the apron is not usually open to general public and a permit may be required to gain the access. Not public cannot go in this area, that is at the apron general public cannot go, but the permission can be admitted by giving a permit may be required to gain the access. General public can go in this area by permission. The term apron is also used to identify the air traffic control positions responsible for the coordinating movement on the surface. Okay, so it is also used to identify the air traffic control position. Okay, so clear about apron, it is an area where the aircrafts are parked, they are loaded and unloaded, then they are refueled, and then as per the requirement they are boarded to the respective areas. Then fourth one is the runway. According to ICAO agency, this runway is a rectangular area on land which is prepared for landing and takeoff of the aircraft. It is an area at the airport where takeoff and landing of aircraft take place. The runways may be made up of man-made surface that is made up of concrete or mixture of asphalt, and it may be mixture of both concrete and asphalt, or it may be made up of natural surfaces, that is grass, dirt, gravels, ice, sand or salt. The runways as well as the taxiways and the ramps are sometimes referred to as the tarmac. The runways or taximacks or ramps can sometimes termed as tarmacs. Okay. The runway lengths are now commonly given in meters worldwide. This runway length is now provided in meters. Okay. Clear about runway? It is nothing but a rectangular area in the airport where the landing and takeoff of the aircraft takes place. Then we will see what is the terminal area. Terminal area is nothing but a building where all the passengers are present. Okay, where each and every activity that is required to be done before going into the aeroplane takes place at this terminal area. So we'll see. An airport terminal is a building at an airport where passengers transfer between ground transportation and the facilities that allow them to board and disembark from an aircraft. Within this terminal, what activities are carried out? Within this terminal, passengers purchase tickets are done, then transfer of their goods is carried out, and the public go through the security. All the activities are carried out within this terminal area. The buildings that provides access to the aeroplanes were gates. Now, from this terminal area, that is from this building, the public is given access to move toward the aeroplanes where the gates, and that are called as concourses. However, the term terminal and concourses are sometimes used interchangeably depending upon the configuration of the airport. So, for the smaller airports, one terminal area is sufficient because no need of number of terminals, because the airport is small, therefore the movement of the public will be less, while that of the large airports have several terminals or concourses. So in the smaller airports, a single terminal building serves all the functions of a terminal. Okay. Then comes the taxiway. What is taxiway? A taxiway is a path on an airport which connects the runways with the ramps, hangars, terminals, and other facilities. It is the path which connects the runway with the ramps, hangars, terminals, and other facilities. They are mostly of hard surface, such as asphalt or concrete, although smaller airports sometimes use gravels or grass. It may be of mainly it is of concrete. We see that the taxiway, the runways are mainly made up of concrete. So in this image we can see this is a runway. Runway is connected to the this taxiway is connecting runways with the ramp. Okay. Now we will see the control tower. What is a control tower? A tower at an airfield from which air traffic is controlled by radio and observed physically and by radar. Means all the air traffic is controlled in this control tower by means of radio or by means of radar or by physical observations. See, this is called a control tower. Then there is a area in the airport for parking. So parking is a specific area of airport at which vehicles are parked. Then what is aircraft stand? A portion of an apron designated as a taxiway and intended to provide access to the aircraft stands only. Means a portion of apron which is used as taxiway and which is intended to provide access to the aircraft stands, that area is called as aircraft stand. Okay, clear. These are the various terminologies used in the airport.